All right, welcome back. This is Siv. This is Anesthesia101online.com. It's been a while. I know it's been a while. I haven't put out a video for a while. But with the doctorate program, it gets me kind of busy work. So it gives me a bunch of work to do, a bunch of research to read, a bunch of articles to read. So I got a little 2-week break in between. I figured this has come up a lot. So I have coworkers asking me. I have people emailing about how to get to anesthesia school. So I figured let me make a video on it. So I'm going to share my screen. Share. Yeah, that looks good. I might move myself down here a little bit. There we go. Good. So how do you apply to anesthesia school? So it's brought to you by Anesthesia 101 Online. We'll talk to more about that and what service that we can offer. So let's get on with it. Oh, CRNA versus nursing. So most people, they remember from going to nursing school, they got, your basic anatomy classes and everything else that goes along with nursing, care plans and the likes. So the difference when you start to look in anesthesia school, it's more science-based. So you're looking at the pathophysiology, the pharmacology, and making it all work. And you, as an licensed independent provider, as they say, LIP, you make those decisions because you're an advanced practice nurse at this point now, when you're done and graduate and become certified by the state and nationally. It is a rigorous course. Everything you heard on TV, on the radio, on YouTube land is all true. So it's going to require a lot of you. If you haven't studied hard before, this is going to really test you. If you have used the slack way of studying, it's going to test you. So it's going to make you change the way you think of how to study and how you take the approach to studying. So this is going to, I don't want to say make or break you, but it's going to build you. It's going to give you a better foundation for when you were taking your undergrad classes. So it's rigorous, but at the same time, the reward is big, it's large. That's why people go into the profession, but there's a sacrifice for everything, just like, any other profession, be it law, be it business, MBA degree, be it medical degree. So it requires a lot of critical thinking on your part, but it has to be sound based with backed up by science and the pharmacology you learn through your courses. So the basic admission courses, so it's all core sciences as I alluded to, your pathophysiology, your anatomy 1 and 2. This is stuff to just get you in the door. Remember now, when you get into anesthesia school, they're going to reiterate this stuff, and it's going to say this stuff is anatomy and physiology. It's going to be advanced. Pathophysiology is going to be advanced. So it's like, I don't know, 500 level, 600 level, versus when you were taking in your undergrad, it was 300, 200 levels. So these all be at advanced level. So microbiology, advanced statistics. Some schools may require, inferential statistics. But before you get into anesthesia, I know I took statistics. I think I took inferential statistics, just so I can be a little ahead of the rest of the crowd that wants to get anesthesia school. Of course, chemistry 1 and 2. I forgot to put that in, but I'll fix that right now. We'll do 1. Oh, computer's a little slow. Mind you, this computer is still 2013 version, so I still like it. It crashed a couple times. Still living, so I'm gonna keep it. Physics 1 and 2, biochemistry, organic chemistry 1 and 2, of course. So each school, like I said, each school requires a different requisite. Organic chemistry 1 and 2, and then grades. Of course, everything's looked upon as grades. Not really. If they had to make a breaking point, sometimes when you go for your interview, you finally get that letter in the mail, like I did in 2011. It's based on how you interview, how you interact. Because in your work environment, you have to be able to communicate your thoughts and process and your critical thinking, rather than just memorizing material and subject matter and just spitting out, regurgitating. You have to understand is applicable to this case at this point. So grades do count to a certain extent. And just to let you know, I actually sat on the board for the admissions committee for my program, so I actually know what they're looking for. So you can give me an email on that if you would like to see what insider look. Graduate admission testing. Some people don't do with it. I mean, the GRE, I took it before I applied. It has no barriers whatsoever. Like It has no relationship to what we're going to be studying as far as the nurse anesthesia part. But it's, the degree you're receiving for that school is a formality. They have to put a little check to their little check saying, hey, this student applied for the graduate level. They did take a graduate admission level. So it could be a GRE, a verbal, a written, or basic science. So I don't know. Like I said, I don't have all the answers, but you may want to look into your respective programs that you're trying to apply to. And some people actually go head over heels with the MCATs. So MCATs is a medical admissions testing that they require. And then I put the question marks in because what else do they require? But like I said, some schools actually have gone away from that they don't require graduate level admissions testing. So, but then again, some schools will require it's a formality. They have to check off the list. Next slide. So which nurse anesthesia education program is right for you? Or which one do you want to apply for? It has to make sense. I stayed in Northeast at the time. I was in Connecticut, and I have family with them because what's going to happen is when you do get in, it's a full-fledged head-on, front-loaded courses, heavy courses. You haven't taken 18 credits or more. I know when I did undergrad, it was like 12 credits at the most. I never took 17, 18 credits up front like that. So it's all front-loaded didactic, and then a little, classes here and there during your clinical time, but mostly front-loaded. So you're going to have help, either be a spouse, a significant other, family, what have you. If you have kids, it's tough, but it's still doable. If you're married, you're about to have a baby, it's still doable. We had two people in our program had babies, and they still passed and still, graduated from our program with good grades. So it's all possible. Just how much you willing to sacrifice, and of course, you got to have that support system, which really helps. And financially, it doesn't make sense. So some schools are cheaper, some schools are longer length. And I'll talk to you a little bit more about that later. The length, the time it takes for you to graduate. So you have to look at, does it make sense financially? How many should you apply for? I applied to 6, 2 accepted me, but I picked the one that made more sense as far as like support system, distance wise, it has to make sense. So I applied as much as I could, but at the same time, they have costs throughout the application. So I know some of the programs in the Northeast, they go through a vetting third-party human resource department, which kind of trickles you through and then gets you an application in, which gets you an interview. But there's cost to each application, anywhere from $30 to $100. But even you get accepted, they may require for a down payment to hold your seat for another $600-700, which they say is actually moved toward your tuition anyway. So you actually don't lose it, but nothing's gained from you anyway. And then, you have to consider if you're applying from, let's say I'm in Massachusetts, you want to apply to Pittsburgh, you're going to have to travel there to get to Pittsburgh to get that interview. So it's up to you. But I'm just putting it out there. Work experience. Most require 1 to 2 years of ICU experience. And when I say ICU, it could be MICU, SICU, CCU, cardiothoracic, cardiovascular, and the specialties like neuro ICU and neonatal, of course. PACU ER, I'm not too sure about that. I mean, I haven't heard any programs that accept people from that area, but I worked in the ER, so it could be intense. But we're not running like crazy trips like we do in ICU, and we're not running like constant renal replacement therapy or something like that. In PACU, like I said, depends on the program. So I got a couple more slides, and that's it. I mean, I don't want to make it too long-winded, so here's the rest of it. So remember, there's plethora of schools, depending on where you're at. Like Florida has a massive amounts of school, anesthesia school, but then again, they're more AA focused. So anesthesiologist assistants, more down there. And then Texas is a big area too. Pittsburgh, Northeast, we have a good amount. So there's plenty out there. But each school requires a different requirement. So you got to be wary of about that. And so we got to look at decide on your proximity. How far is it for you? Does it make sense for you financially? And then length of program. I mean, nowadays, by AANA standards, we're supposed to be doctorate prepared by 2025. I think we're moving in that direction. Every program that I know out there is aiming for the certification to be a doctorate. So having said that, you got to think ahead. Do you want your your degree to be MSN, which is Master of Science in Nursing with a focus in anesthesia. And then MSNA is what I have is a Master of Science Nursing Anesthesia, and then Master of Science in Chemistry, Master of Science Biology. So do you want to get a PhD, or you want to get DNP or DRNAP? So think of that long line, influence your decision of which school you decide on. Because for me, I wish I would have did Master of Science in Chemistry or Master of Science in Biology, because I'd rather go that route. But because I already had a bachelor's in nursing, it kind of made it harder for me. So right now, my doctorate is in instructional management. That's it. You need more? Check out my YouTube channel and my podcast. I have it on both sides there. So if you're driving, you can listen to my podcast. If you're at home on a little break or something, you can go on YouTube. It's at Anesthesia 101 Online. So I'm there. Subscribe to it. So I get thumbs up from there. Thumbs up. There we go. Fix that. And, make some comments. Also, you want to check me out on my personal page. I got www.cecilvadorswan.com. You can check me out there. I do post some stuff there on my blog just to keep everybody updated to what I'm doing, keep you interested. I think that's it. If you guys have any questions, if you go to my personal website, just put in your contact list. It'll actually go right to my email. And, you can ask me some questions there through my personal website too. I'll be sure to happy to answer it. All right. Thank you. I'll catch you next time. Stop. I'm going to stop.